y'all. This is Candiace Dillard Basset from The Real Housewives of Potomac, and you're listening to QM.
She's no stranger to this show, and you can also catch her on The Real Housewives of Potomac every Sunday on Bravo. It's Candiace Dillard Basset. What's happening, mama?
What's going on? How are you?
Oh my gosh, I'm doing good. I'm so happy that we're like halfway through this pandemic. I don't know where we are right now, but we outside now.
I think slowly we're getting to a more comfortable place.
Yeah.
I actually didn't mind being in quarantine because I love being in my house.
Right.
And I had an excuse to not ever have to leave. So I'm kind of like having an opposite reaction to the world opening back up because now I have to go out. So I'm like,
absolutely. Well, happy Friday to you, Candiace. The album Deep Space is finally out.
It's out. We are in it. We're here. The people are streaming. Thank you all so much for supporting just my music journey.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you guys don't really know me from a can of paint, except for, you know, from the Potomac Housewives. And I've always been a singer. I've always loved music, but the way that I've been embraced as I've really stepped out on this journey has been incredible to experience. The way that everybody responded to Drive Back, to the video, to Benefits, and the lyric video that we put out for you guys for that song. I actually just wrapped my third music video for my third single called Is It Enough that's coming out later in October. And I'm gagging at the visuals for Is It Enough? So I'm just really grateful that everybody has been so supportive. And now Deep Space, the album is out. And I can't wait to hear all of your critiques and your responses and you all singing all the lyrics and telling me your favorite songs from the album. I'm just really excited.
Well, I got to tell you, your team E1, they sent me the album last night, and my top three, I got to say, is Hands in the Air, Cause a Scene, and Situationship. Now, Candiace, you gave us we're getting to see like a new version of Candiace Dillard Basset.
God, okay. So you're probably one of the first people to give me your favorite songs. That is so, I have chills right now.
But let me tell you why I like Situationship, because I feel like Situationships is something that we can all relate to. We've all been in that quote-unquote situationship before.
So we wrote Situationship in the studio. We were working on other songs, and I had those lyrics in my phone for like 2 years.
Right.
And that song is about a very specific situation that I went through with this F-boy,
right?
Who he literally wanted me to be his side chick, and I, for like 2 seconds, considered what that would be like. That's how crazy it was, and it's so triggering for so many men and women.
Yeah,
I knew that song would grab people.
How does Chris feel about these songs that is on this album?
He loves them. He loves every song. I think he has said his favorites, they change, but he loves Drive Back. He really loves Benefits. He loves Is It Enough, the third single coming out later in October.
Right.
He loves Win.
Win, the last song. Now I like Win because Win was kind of like it tied the entire album together. It was like I'm coming out of this. You know what I mean?
So I grew up in the 90s. Like music, R&B music was like popping in the 90s when I was coming up, and we're around the same age. So as we're coming up.
Yeah.
And if you all remember the way that real, like tried and true 90s R&B albums were structured, there was an intro, there were interludes, you had an outro, and all the good albums, all the great artists had an inspirational or a gospel song that wrapped up their project.
Absolutely.
And that's really what I modeled this project after, is, you know, the tried and true, inspirational, incredible albums and artists of the 90s. So people are going to think that Cause a Scene is my diss track. Win is actually my diss track.
I got to go back and listen to Win again. So this is a 15-track album. You got a feature by Tracey Braxton. What was it like working with her in the studio?
Okay, I I can't say enough about Tracey. She
Yeah.
is the most incredible spirit you will ever meet in your life. She's so funny. She's so freaking funny.
Yeah.
But she just has this nurturing, like motherly, sisterly, auntie-ish friend vibe. Like
Absolutely.
she was like in the booth with me, like helping me figure out how, like in the actual booth, helping me figure out how to deliver certain notes. She was just like I can't say enough about her. She's a jewel, she's a gem. It's such a pleasure and an honor to be able to work with her, and that she saw enough in me and my little old music to even want to work with me is still surreal. I love her to the moon and back. Just an amazing woman.
I think we all have grown to love the Braxtons, and Tracey is one of like the realest Braxtons there is. So to see y'all in the studio together,
We connect.
right. Yeah.
I can't be anything but myself. And
Absolutely.
Tracey absolutely can't be anybody but Tracey. And so we bonded on that.
Nicki Minaj, she's a fan of yours.
I would be really excited to have her host or co-host our reunion.
Yeah.
I think that, Andy Cohen, I call him Dr. Cohen. Dr. Cohen has really carved out a lane for himself as a host for the Housewives franchise. And I wouldn't want to lose him in that position, because he knows us. He knows the backstory. He knows the format. He understands how to pull from us what we need, what he needs, and what we need. So I wouldn't want him to completely go away. But to have Nicki come in and co-host or host a segment, I think would be amazing, because she's a real fan. Like she has been watching since season 1. So she could probably really come in and give us some good, juicy foolishness that would just make it the reunion of a lifetime. So I would love to have her. I would love to to have the Barbs tune in and make it a fun moment.
Now, do you think you and Ashley will reconcile at this reunion?
Oh my gosh, who knows? It depends on which way the air is blowing and which where the moon is in the sky. Like you never know. With me and that Ashley, 1 minute we're fine.
The last time you and I talked, you and Ashley was on good terms, and then we watching this season, all you hear is forehead, and I was like, Lord, that Candiace Dillard.
I speak my mind. When I feel a way about something someone has said or done, I'm going to let you know in the moment. And Ashley is notorious for, sticking her foot in her face in stuff that doesn't have anything to do with her.
Yeah.
And when I feel that she's out of line, or when anybody is out of line of my girlfriend group, I'm going to call them out on it. And they do the same thing for me.
Now, how do you feel about Mia, though? I mean, because this whole back and forth between you and Mia, she's coming for Chris on Twitter. What is this whole issue? Why do you think Mia has a problem with you in the first place?
I think Mia is bored and she needs a hobby.
Candiace, listen, speaking of castmates, we are kicking off Breast Cancer Awareness Month right now. You actually talked about your auntie actually being affected with breast cancer, and I know that you are doing a new film with your castmate Giselle Bryant. Talk about this new movie, and what does this project mean to you?
So I'm just so grateful to BET and to Octet Productions, the production company that helped us put this project out. The Waiting Room is it's a series of short films that highlight breast cancer awareness as we move into Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I'm really honored to be a part of this project, like you said, because I have family who has been affected by breast cancer. One of my favorite aunts found her own lump in the shower, and she actually lost her battle almost a year after she found her lump. Thank you. My grandmother also had breast cancer, and she lived a lot longer, but she had her bouts with breast cancer as well. So it has affected my family. And there's so many, I posted the clip from The Waiting Room, and I was blown away at the number of women and just people who have women in their lives who have been affected by breast cancer, people who who were personally giving me their testimonies and telling me, you know, I'm a 5-year survivor, I'm a 2-year survivor, or my mother is a survivor. My mother lost her battle. My aunt lost her battle. So many women are affected by breast cancer. So it's still necessary to have conversations about breast awareness and breast health. Getting your mammograms, learning how to properly screen yourself, no matter your age, no matter your medical history. It's so important. And this film, so there were 2 films. My short film starred Eva Marcille and myself. Giselle did another short film. The other thing I have to point out too is that these films were directed intentionally by Black women. So my film was directed by Taronda Jones, whom you might remember from Empire. She played on Empire. So funny on Empire. But she's just her energy, her vibe is so solid and so beautiful and so fun and funny and vibrant. It was such a pleasure to work with her and to see her work in a directorial space. But Eva literally killed this role. Watching her, as I'm in scenes with her, I was blown away at how true she was to her character and how she really took us, you know, to the place of someone who could possibly be suffering from a breast cancer diagnosis. It was incredible to watch. It was incredible to be a part of. My character plays Eva's best friend. She's a little bit insensitive in the beginning and kind of doesn't get the journey. And you kind of see that play out as the film goes along. But I'm really excited for you guys to see it October 9th on BET Her.
Absolutely. Best of luck to you, Candiace. Candiace, 2 last questions. Why do you feel like viewers or fans don't give you the same grace as they give the other women in the whole Housewife franchise? Because as soon as you say something, like, people go crazy on Neighborhood Talk, on Shade Room, like they go in on Black Twitter, all that. But when you see these other women on the franchise, nothing is said.
It's a constant conversation. And you know, I shout out to my fans and my supporters because they have a hard job. They work overtime for me, fussing and arguing in the comments. I don't know. There are a lot of reasons that I think that people resent me. I think being a free Black woman who hasn't had an overt public struggle is difficult for people. I think that especially in a public space, a public persona, we're used to seeing Black women struggle, come from some sort of humbling experience. And I came to you all free and wealthy and full of life and not bogged down by a struggle that you all know of. And I think that bothers people, that I am a wordsmith. I'm free with my words. I'm smart. I'm educated. And I'm unafraid to speak about the generational wealth that I have been afforded because of the hard work of my parents and their parents and their parents.
Absolutely.
And I think that just bothers people because I'm a brat and I need to learn my lesson for running my mouth when I say the same things that the Giselles, the Robins, the Karens, and the Ashleys of the world, and the Mias of the world, and the Winnies of the world say. But for whatever reason, I'm held to a different standard consistently. And it is what it is. Good morning to all of the haters. I hope you are well and moisturized on this good day. I don't know. And it's not really my burden to carry. I don't wear it. I leave that to the haters to wear. And I continue to walk in my purpose.
Absolutely. I love that. Candiace, last question, because I know that you've been hanging out with Kandi Burruss lately. I saw that you were supporting Kenya Moore on your Instagram. And we all keep hearing about this Real Housewives of Atlanta shakeup. Now, listen, if there was a shakeup that was going to go on at Potomac, who would not come back next season if it was all up to you?
Oh gosh, I don't ever want to be responsible for taking away someone's job.
Yeah.
But a couple of the Saints, or maybe one of the Saints, may be putting herself out of a job if she doesn't learn how to be quiet. That's all I will say about that.
Again, Candiace, Dillard, Basset, my friend, appreciate you, mama, for stopping by the show. Deep Space is out right now. You got to go stream that, y'all. I'm telling y'all, the album is crazy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. I can't wait to come back, and good luck to you, and congratulations on all of your success.